After one of their toughest years to date, Team Liquid has revamped their team and look to break through their curse while achieving great things. Team Liquid came into the scene on January 2015 when the organization bought Team Curse. With the purchase of Team Curse, Liquid inherited the squad and was able to finish 6th overall in the split. This led them to playoffs where they were able to achieve their highest rank as of yet, 3rd. Even though the team had a good solid start since their creation, they have yet to make it to Worlds, and with 2 consecutive lackluster seasons, Team Liquid attempt to break into the top of the competition with one of its scariest iterations to date. Top lane, Impact. World Champion Impact was picked up with the hefty fee to start off this scary looking team. With a few years of learning English and some time to define his playstyle in North America, this veteran is looking to make sure all tops die. Jungler Xmithy. Xmithy has been playing since the creation of the game, or at the very least since Season 1. In 2015 was when he got his big break with Counterlogic Gaming, and with some time became one of the core components of the team. After a shocking move to Immortals, he was able to help that team make it to the first world appearance. Now, he joins Team Liquid with 2 of his old teammates looking to improve and hungry for more. Mid laner Pobelter. The original 200 IQ player, the notorious POB is looking for more as a veteran in the league as he has enjoyed success with CLG as well as IMT. Even though last summer split could be considered one of his best to date, Pobelter looks to show off why he can be such a valuable NA mid laner. ADC Doublelift. Doublelift is another hardened veteran that joins his team. With yet another disappointing international showing at Worlds with TSM, the team decided to part ways with Double. With a search of vengeance and seeking the top spot, this might be the fire the team needs to win it all. Support Ole. Rounding out the team as the second import, Ole looks to add to what he started last year in Immortals. Having traveled the world and becoming a fan favorite to most, Ole will help Liquid have one of the most dangerous looking bot lanes in the league. Add that to the synergy he already possesses with Xmithy, this seems to be the team to beat. Coaches, Kane and Dodo. Kane was hired as the head coach for the team from C9's coaching staff. To help with translation as well as player coaching, Dodo joins the team from Immortals. Something that is important to know is that the established synergy the majority of the team has, and how to utilize it to become one of the most dominant teams in the North American LCS.
With all that said about Team Liquid, why would we be fans of this team?
Because Steve will pay you.
Hey, this is paid by Steve. Actually, Steve,
please pay.
Yeah, please. We'll do another episode. We'll do 2 episodes for you, Steve, for the price of 1. No,
yeah,
but seriously.
I mean, all jokes aside, I think one of the huge things is Steve being such a huge personality for Team Liquid. Mm-hmm. He's an awesome person, and you know, like, yeah, the team ended up getting a bunch of money because they signed deals with like Disney and all this, but he cares, right? He does care, and the reason he likes the memes, reason he likes jokes, is because he wants to do the best for the team. And I just think he's a great guy. I mean, I haven't been able to meet him, but like from what I've seen, it's just like he is a great guy. You know, he brings a lot to the scene.
Yeah, you know, as a personality, he's a great guy. As a businessman, or just like the smarts behind the logo, you know, he has been the first person to bring in an imported talent to North America. I'm pretty sure he was the first to have a gaming house and maybe a gaming facility. I don't remember if that's happening now or if it's in the works. But Steve has brought a lot to the League of Legends esports scene and esports in general. You might have heard of Team Liquid. Like, that is a common name, like from StarCraft. I think the Brood War days is where it came from and stuff like that. He's been around for a while. He knows the scene as someone that has competed professionally in esports in general, and just like he knows what he's doing. And it's this weird thing because a lot of people are like, oh, Team Liquid, if you're only familiar with the League of Legends, Team Liquid has not been a good team. You know, Team Curse, like they just haven't performed. And it's one of those things where I felt like that's just unlucky. You know, when you look at like a long string of things, like when you step back and look at a huge timeline, you see like the luckiness and unluckiness kind of just like even out. I think now is a time for Team Liquid to get lucky, because I think Steve literally like is a great person for the industry, and just like has not has just gotten bad breaks when it comes to like his investments and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think real quick, just mentioning the curse, right?
Mhm.
Some people might be like, oh, team, look, they have a great team. I don't want to. No, they're cursed. They're never going to win.
Yeah.
Joke's on you, buddy. They broke the curse last year. They finished 9th and 10th.
Joke's on you.
So for some of you that might not be aware, the curse for Team Liquid is that they've always placed 4th. They just always end up 4th. However they do in the regular season, they go to playoffs to just end 4th. Like they're like, we have super strong 4th place. Doesn't matter. Last year was obviously the worst year for Team Liquid. But again, to me, that might be just a new fresh start, right? That the team needs. So maybe the curse is broken. All jokes aside of them like just doing poorly, I think like they have a really solid team.
Yeah, let's talk about the roster a bit.
Yeah, I think if you're a fan of Immortals, you want to be a fan of this team.
Yep.
Sam, I know you were a fan of Immortals.
Yes, I
you
was.
were really upset when they left, but looking at the team, they have 3 out of 5. I think that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I mean, if they got any 3 out of 5 of those players, I think I would have been very happy seeing like the Immortals roster living on together. And you have just really good players. Let's talk about Olay, for instance. He was a huge like roaming playmaking support with Doublelift, who Doublelift asked for Olay to be like his support player. That was like kind of one of his conditions about coming on to Team Liquid. So that's really, really exciting. We have Notorious POB in the house too. Like NA talent in the mid lane. It still exists, guys. It's crazy. And he's not bad, It's not like a...
he has that 200 IQ.
yeah. Tons of memes going that way too. A really funny personality. I am really, really excited about this roster, and it looks great on paper.
Yeah, and I mean, someone you briefly mentioned, but I think is like the talk of the town is Doublelift, right? He stated TSM, they fucked up. Almost in his exact words was they shouldn't have left me, right? Yeah. And I will prove to them that they made a mistake. Similar to what Biofrost recently did. Granted, Doublelift did it first, but I think, it's really interesting because he wants to prove himself. It isn't weird to see Doublelift in Team Liquid because he already played with Team Liquid, and that time they played, they beat TSM. That's the first match of the split.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Like this is such a cool. It has to be intentional, 100% intentional. I don't know how.
Oh, absolutely.
But this is hype. This is the very first match we get to see, and it's this battle, right? And so I'm super excited. But what also excites me is that not just these players, it's just the content that has these players involved now, right? I think being able to see them through 1UP Studios, and which, if you're not aware, 1UP Studios kind of started through Team Liquid, and it was like their studio, then separated, became their own thing, even though they pretty much still work together. But 1UP Studios is just awesome. Their productions are great. Their announcements for Olay, for everyone was awesome. Like I'm so excited to just get to see even more of like, especially Immortals, because I feel like we didn't really get to see much of them when they were Immortals.
Yeah, you're gonna see some highly produced content that's gonna make. It's gonna look good. You're gonna be like, oh, I don't like Team Liquid. I don't care about Team Liquid. And then you're gonna watch me like, oh my gosh, I love Olay. It's like, oh my gosh, I love Impact on Team Liquid. Like that's just the kind of presence that they have. That's the kind of experience their studio has. I'm really, really excited to see, hopefully what's the opposite of Breaking Point, a good story rather than like something just collapsing under its own weight,
They'll call it Turning Point. Hire me, Steve, please, dude. I'm giving you gold.
Just give me something. Anything. Yeah, so there's a lot of hype behind this team. Yeah, I think the biggest question, we like to play a little devil's advocate. I mean, we won't say power rankings just yet, but like the only thing that you might want to be careful of is this the greatest team, or will this be the greatest upset, right?
because the ceiling is high, but if they don't perform to that ceiling, then they'll be like, oh wow, it just disappointed me again, Liquid. Thanks. And
this team is going to have as much scrutiny as TSM is, just because of the crazy roster that Steve was able to put together.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, like, it was jokes like as soon as like preseason started and people were able to buy teams, you just saw like 5 announcements. Yeah, Team Liquid has all of Immortals. Team Liquid just signed this person, and people were like, "You have like 20 players. What are you doing?" Like it's funny, and that's where like the paid by Steve meme came in and like really went extra and like was super intense. And I'm excited. I think this is an exciting team. This is super fun, and yes, they have like the possibility to fall. But I mean, if you want to be a fan of one of the stronger teams, at least on paper, and has some great personalities, you might just want to be charging your way up to the top and be a fan of Team Liquid.